So in yesterday's episode, I got given a job interview at FC Tokyo and then subsequently got offered the job. I said I was going to give myself some time to think about it, and 48 hours later, I think I've actually made a decision. Okay, so this is where we left it in yesterday's episode. Like I say, it's only been 24 hours for you guys, but for me it's actually been 48 hours as I've given myself some time to think, and I've made the decision that I'm going to accept the FC Tokyo offer and we're going to leave Fukushima. So in this episode, we're going to say goodbye to Fukushima and hello to FC Tokyo. But I do feel I need to explain first my reasoning behind my decision to leave, basically, because I know there's going to be people that are watching this that don't agree with my decision. They would rather I stay at Fukushima. And look, if we go to the league, for example, people are going to say to me, look, you're 2 points clear at the top of the league. You're 5 points clear of Shimizu in the automatic promotion places. That's a 5-point lead with, 11 games to go. That you've got every chance of getting automatically promoted. Stay with Fukushima, because if you go to Tokyo, you could end up getting relegated, and Fukushima could end up in the J1 and you could end up in the J2 and all this sort of stuff. And I totally get that. But I've thought about all the different scenarios of what team could end up in what division and all this sort of stuff. And part of it comes down to the facilities for the two clubs. You know, when you look at our transfer budget of £755,000, our wage budget of basically £42,000. At Tokyo, we're getting something like a £29 million transfer budget and a £200,000 plus wage budget. And obviously, I know if we end up in the J2 league, that those budgets will drop. But I also know we've got a much better chance of coming straight back up, plus a better chance of actually doing well in the J1 league. I've also had a thought or a comment going through my head. Someone left a comment, Montel24, I think your name is, in the job hunt episode, either that or the first episode of Fukushima, but I think it was a job hunt episode, saying that not to get attached to my club because he done a journeyman save, or they done a journeyman save, so I don't know if you're he or she. They done a journeyman save that was ended up staying at the same club for 9 years in Japan. And that has kind of been going on in the back of my mind while I've been making my decision. And I've kind of thought, you know what, this is a journeyman save. We do need to move on. I can't just stay at Fukushima because I really like this club. And I do like it. I mean, like I say, we're top of the J2 league. I really want to know how well we can do. But the facilities like this is not just the only facility. It's also when you come in here and you've got average corporate basic training, basic youth, fairly basic academy, fairly basic youth recruitment. And I know we can ask them to redo all this, but like their stadium, for example, is a 15,474 all-seater stadium. If the stadium I've seen on Google is anything, I have been researching, by the way, if the stadium I've seen on Google is anything to go by, if that is actually Tokyo's actual stadium, that's nearly 50,000 seats. I don't think for a second we're going to fill 50,000, but it just shows how much bigger Tokyo is to Fukushima, really. So we'll have a quick look at our squad. And I mean, the man that I want to say bye to the most is this guy here, Genki Agawa, who he's only 3 stars, but he has been a superstar for us this season. 22 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists as a right back, basically, at 7.04. He plays right back, he plays left middle, he plays left back. He can play anywhere across that area. And when you look at the fact that he's on £1,100 a week, he's been so good for us. And part of me kind of wants to take him with me. I don't think he'd be anywhere, it'd probably only be about 1 star at Tokyo, but he has looked really, really good. In terms of players we might want to take with us, Raya Morishita, 27 years old, 3.5-star current and potential. There is Nagi Matsumoto, who, by the way, has been pretty decent as well. 6 goals, 5 assists in 25 appearances at 6.96 in that defensive midfield role as well. He's got the potential to be 4.5 stars, 24 years old. Jada Martinez, 20 years old, 4-star current, 5-star potential. He's taken a little while to get going and hasn't really hit the heights that I was hoping he would do. But at the same time, 9 goals, 3 assists from 24 games at 7.16. He has been really good. He might well be the kind of player that we take to Tokyo with us. Might have to pay around the £450,000 mark for him. We do have some really decent players in this team. You know, even Matsumoto can play left back and defensive midfield. Potential of 4 stars, only 25 years of age. I want to build a younger profile at Tokyo, but we've got a really good, decent team here, and that's why it's such a strain to actually leave them. Yoshisha Mori, one of our strikers, 20 appearances, 14 goals, 6 assists at 7.51. He has been incredible. He really has. And he's 4 stars for us. He's just been amazing. 20 goal contributions in 20 appearances. And then you've got Oliver Pufflet, who's kind of on the other side of it, but he has played well when you look at it. 17 appearances, 9 goal contributions, 8 of those contributions being goals at 7.18. He's done all right. You know, I've been a bit harsh on him, but he has done all right for us. And even the bench, you know, the likes of Amori, Kojima, Matsushita, Takagi, you know, I mean, he's dropped a little bit now, Takagi, as his form's gone. But yeah, we just have a really, really good team. And as we leave, the team cohesion is very good. The club atmosphere is very good. Managerial support is very good. The finances we've already seen what they're like. We leave with them having 1.2 million in the bank. If we go to the debts and loans, there's no debt at the club. The only debt they've got is a transfer debt, which is £101,000. Projection never looks good anyway. I mean, if you look at this, they're going to, in a couple of seasons' time, they're going to be 2.5 million in the red in terms of their overall balance. But yeah, and that really brings us to the Tokyo offer. They're 141 miles away from Fukushima. So it's not a massive journey. I think by car, Google Maps says you can do it in just under 6 hours. So the fact that they're going to be doubling our wages, I mean, we're on 1.3 at the moment. They're offering us 2.5. I'm going to see if we can get it. I want to ask for 3, but I want to see if we can get it to at least a 2.6. So they are doubling the wages. £29.5 million transfer budget, £275,000 wage budget. Keep the director of football in place. Always happy to do that. And of course, they want us to avoid relegation from the J1 League. So, without further ado, I'm going to start the negotiations. Top division relegation wage drop. Oh, blimey. I'm going to ask for 3,000 and see what they say. And they've gone with it. They didn't even negotiate. I could have asked for more. It's a 2-year contract, £3,000 a week. We've more than doubled our wages. We are off to FC Tokyo. We're going to finalise that deal, exit the talks. And when I click continue, we're going to be saying hello to FC Tokyo. So here we are then. Breaking news, FC Tokyo higher heels. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Damien Hills has left Fukushima to join FC Tokyo. Hills will face pressure to bring immediate success to Chofu Stadium, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, and will need to hit the ground running if he is to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. I don't know what I said about taking sole charge. I weren't joint manager at Fukushima. Seong Hyun Jun was considered to be the favourite for the job, but it's unclear whether the club favoured Hills all along. Fukushima will now be looking for a new manager. Hills' men are in a poor run of 9 league games without a win, and the relegation candidates find themselves in 18th place in the J1 League. FC Tokyo have lost 4 of their last 5 games in the league. Not good news. Let's move forward. Director of football is Yuto Agawa. The club was founded in 1935. Fierce rivals are Tokyo Verdy. Media prediction is 13, so we are expected to do a bit better than what we are. The concern I have right now is I have no assistant manager. I'm not doing training myself. I'm just not. Finances, they're rich. They are rich. Yeah, there's a Chofu Stadium, 49,970 capacity, built in 2001. From what I read on Google, the Saudi Arabian national team used this as a training base during the 2002 World Cup. FC Tokyo Kadira ground, superb training facilities, great youth facilities, excellent youth recruitment. This is what I'm saying. This is the reason why, and this as well, why we've made this move. They're out in the second round of the League Cup, knocked out the second round of the All Japan Cups. We do only have the league to focus on. Let's move forward to the next bit. 4-2-4, which we're used to playing at Fukushima. So that is their preferred formation at the moment. Key player is Jaja Silva. He's must be one of our strikers or wingers or something. He's a top earner, a top striker. So Jaja Silva, by the looks of it, is our main man. Filip Krastev is our captain. We know all about that. We've seen that several times. They want us to play. This is the supporters want us to play possession football, be competitive against Kawasaki, finish above Tokyo Verdy in the league. I mean, that's not going to happen this year. Avoid relegation from the J1 league. Yeah, seems simple. Right, schedule a press conference, every month, that's all sorted as I like it. And here we are. Here is our new inbox. I mean, it looks the same as the last one, but let's have a quick buzz through these. Playing time expectations, I'll look at that in more detail. Our youth intake is rated as going to be excellent, so hopefully that comes true. Meant to have some decent wingers. The supporters profile, 13% hardcore, 35% core, 26% family, 10% fair weather, 3% corporate and 13% casual. The supporters' influence on the board is low. They have 9,227 season ticket holders. I mean, that's like 9 times the amount of people, or let's be real, it's probably about 4 or 5 times the amount of people we even had in attendance at Fukushima. 193.2 thousand followers on social media. The season expectations, avoid relegate. I'm not going to, I mean, why would I be ticking that? I mean, it does give me 36 million to be fair. We're not going to do that. So we'll just keep it at that. £281,000 wage budget, by the way. So we'll confirm that one. The tactical direction we'll get into in a moment. Let's have a look at our squad. Filter it by position. Actually, let's filter it by ability. And, okay, we have a few standout players. This guy here, Jaja Silva, is our main man. Plays left or right. 4 stars. He's a 27-year-old Brazilian with a transfer value of up to 4 million. He likes to be a winger on either side. So what's he want to do as a striker? An advanced forward as a striker. 5 goals from 22 games would indicate he doesn't really play as a striker. If he does, he's not particularly good. So we'll probably be looking at playing him on one of these wings, basically. Then we've got, so this guy here is suspended, Kazuku Yamazaki. He's a centre-back. Oh, he's 6 foot. He's got some pretty decent heading and jumping reach on him as well. 4 stars. 30-year-old Japanese player. He's never made an international appearance. But, yeah, he's the right side. How long is he suspended for? It doesn't tell me on that. Kazuki Shirai, another 4-star player. I mean, he can play anywhere up and down the left and right-hand side. He's probably better as, I mean, we could have him as a complete wing-back. I've never used a complete wing-back. He's 32 years old, so he is someone, and he's on like nearly £12,000. Not for sale. He's exploring his options at the end of his contract, which is the end of next season. So we do still have him for another season. 5'5". Yeah, we could actually end up playing a complete wing-back with him in the team. Filip Krastev, 24-year-old Bulgarian. He's made 33 caps for the national team as well. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. Can play in the centre of midfield as an advanced playmaker, Mazzala, deep line playmaker, central midfielder. He can do a lot of roles, this boy. And he can even play in this role here if you wanted to go for something like a 4-2-3-1. again, I do like to play an attacking midfielder in that role on attack, and he can actually do that quite decently. So that does leave that as an option for us. Tomoki Hayaka, we're not going to go through every single player, by the way, but he's our goalkeeper, 3.5 star with 4-star potential. Well, he's 6'2". I mean, that is very tall in the J League, I've come to realise. Who's this guy here? Yasunori Yamamura. I mean, he don't look like a particularly good striker, to be fair. He wants to be a target forward. I mean, he's got the potential, let's be honest. So we could play him as something like an inside forward and give him that potential. We'll sort more of that out as we get further into pre-season, basically. Then we've got Kaitaro Lizuka, who is a high potential player, a promising midfielder, 17 years old. Can be a defensive midfielder, ball winning midfielder. Got good tackling, to be fair to him. So he's someone we can certainly remember. Let's have a look at the positions. We've got 2 goalkeepers. I mean, we've got a lot of centre backs. I mean, are we actually playing a 3 at the back formation? That could be interesting because we have got a lot set. I mean, Yota Sato he's probably better as a centre back. I mean, he's 6 foot. He's got rubbish jumping reach, but decent heading. His tackling's good. His marking's good. He's probably going to be a centre back for us rather than out on the right. Then we've got this guy here, Simon, Dutch 32-year-old, can play right or left. He's not particularly that good in either. But then we also have Kazuki Shirai, who could be our wing back on attack on the right. So we could actually play this chap over on the left-hand side, depending on what we have for the left. Takahiro Akamoto. I mean, he could be a striker or a left back. I mean, to be fair, he could play in pretty much every position bar the goalkeeper. I mean, that is what you call a versatile player. He's not particularly good. He's got pretty much no technical skills, but he could be very useful as a backup for us. What else have we got on the left-hand side? So we've got Rion Yamahara, can play as a wing-back. Can he do support? I don't like defence. He can kind of do support. He actually don't look too bad, actually. His tackling might need a bit of improving, but yeah, he's looking promising for that. Right, what we've got for midfielders? We've got several midfielders and wingers. So I must admit, is this guy out on loan somewhere else? Yeah, he's out on loan at Kashiwa. Who's this guy? So his contract expires this season. Let's move him to the reserve squad. Same with the other one. We don't want people in our squad that will not be featuring for us. So Kikuchi can play there or there, so he could be back up in this role here. I think I'm edging towards a 4-2-3-1. I'll tell you what, I'm going to set the tactic up and then I'll come back to you. Okay, then here we are with our tactic. Now, we have gone for the 4-2-3-1. It is a gegenpress. It may be considered a little cheaty, but I actually think it's the best option we've got right now, especially when we look at the reason why we're performing so poorly. But this is basically the team that my best 11 has given me. When you go to quick pick without restrictions, best 11. Oh, go away. This is basically what it gives me. And the only real change is that, hang on, let me just change my filters because I add the under 18s on it, is that Kazuki Yamazaki would normally be up here in place of Kaito Chida. Although I am thinking he might be better taking the place of Enrique Trevisan. Is a significant upgrade by like half a star basically, or by a whole star, sorry. So, but that's what we're going to be going with for our first game. Yamazaki is suspended for our next J1 league game, and then he's back after that. We've also got Rayatoro Araki, who can play anywhere across here, plus up top. 2.5-star current with 4-star potential, 24-year-old. He really does look like he could be a useful player for us. And in a couple of weeks' time, it'll probably be around the time we come back. We're on a mid-season break at the moment. Now, you might think I'm mad, but we're very short of options in the centre of midfield. And Arthur Rezende, the 32-year-old Brazilian, is our best option, really, as our ball-winning midfielder in this tactic. Then I had a look at the youth centre. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. And Takayuki Watanabe, 16-year-old Japanese lad, already a valuation of up to 2 million, 5-star potential. His attributes are not as good as the other guy, but he, like I say, he's got the potential. That's the thing. If we actually go into his training, for example, and I mean, their trainers are no-nonsense centre-back. What on earth are they doing? We want him as a defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder on defend. What's his strength's not too bad. We'll sort that bit out later on. But yeah, we're getting training up for that position. And I'm actually tempted to just play him. Star rating, they're the same. I'm probably not going to play him from the start because he has got better attributes, so therefore he is better for the role. But this is pretty much the team we look like we're going to be going with. We do have a lot of players here that we're probably not going to be using. I mean, we do have this guy here that can do the ball-winning midfield role. He's 17 years old. He's got 5-star potential. I mean, we have some really good youngsters. That's the one thing I have seen from this. And if we actually... Where is the guy? Where'd he go? I've lost him. Was it this guy? Yeah. Lizuka, the lizard. So either or of those players could come in here. He can't really do a deep line playmaker role, so there's no point having him for that. Lizuka is pretty much the same, can't do the deep line playmaker role. So it'll be one of the other. We might end up putting him back into the under-19s. He's on holiday until the 22nd of July, and our next game isn't until the 2nd of August, I think it is. So there's time for me to have more of a play about with this before we get to the first two games, which will be tomorrow's episode. But if we have a look at the dev centre, I mean, this, I don't know why he's in here. Is he someone that's out on loan somewhere that I put in? No idea why he's 22 years old. He isn't good enough. Does he finish with us this season? It's been another 2 years. I mean, he's someone we're probably going to want to move on, to be fair. But if we have a look at the reserve squad, go by ability or potential rather, and again, there's some pretty decent looking players. What I'll do is when we get to the end of the season, I'll have a look at some of these players and see who's worth bringing in. So we've got some 18-year-old 5-star, 4.5-star potential players here that could end up coming in. Like this guy here can be a deep line playmaker, 3.5 to 4.5-star potential, 18 years of age. We could have a really good young team in place here. We look at the under-18s, and again, look at their potential. I mean, you've got what? How many players is that? That is 7 players there that are all 4.5-star to 5-star potential players between 16 and 17 years of age. And you go down here, you've got some really decent players. And this club has got a lot going for it. It's an average reserve squad. It's a strong under-18 squad. In terms of their tactic, we was talking about that just a moment ago. If we have a look at the set pieces, there's going to be no surprises here. We've got a near post in swinger, we've got a far post in swinger, and we've got a short corner all on here. That is all set up, ready to go. The tactic still resembles what you'd associate with one of my tactics, an attacking right back with the inside forward on support, a supporting wing back on the left with an attacking inside forward on the left. Your attacking midfielder gets forward, joins the advanced playmaker. And obviously what we want to see is Shirai getting plenty of crosses in for Jaja Silva to run onto. If we look at the in possession side of it, we've put work ball into box on, taken off pass into space because I like to have a bit of possession as well. And we're overlapping on the right for our attacking midfielder to get forward, playing for set pieces as we usually do. We've got counter press and counter turned on, distributed centre-backs take short kicks. And then when we go to out of possession, we're a standard defensive line with mid-block at the moment. Obviously, the normal gegenpress is a high defensive line, but we have got step up more. So the standard defensive line will kind of turn into more of a higher defensive line anyway. So that is basically the tactic that we've gone with. We've seen what the dev centre's like. Let's have a look at dynamics. Team cohesion is average. Club atmosphere is average. Managerial support is average, but in the red, we need to get that moved up as well. And the all-important finances, I mean, oh my word, 47.3 million in the bank. We have got an amazing setup at this club. Even if we get relegated, I believe we're coming straight back up, because we could probably do next season, if we get relegated, we could probably do next season with a large amount of young players in this team. There's the club info screen. We know what the club vision is. We have a look at scouting. We've got a world package set up for scouting. Let's have a look at staffing. We know I need to get an assistant manager in. We need to get a coach in as well. We need 3 performance analysts. I mean, all of this needs a lot of work. And again, that will be a job for the summer. We need to get a scouting and a technical director, a loan manager, 2 recruitment analysts. A lot of players left with the last manager by the looks of it. But the most important thing, and we're not going to do it this way, we're going to do it what I consider to be the right way. Let's get an assistant manager advertised and get one of them in. If we have a look at the responsibilities for training, no, I am not doing training. I'm going to assume you're a decent coach, and Mr. Kenji Okazaki, you can lead the training. That is an absolute must. I will not be doing training. No way in the world am I doing training. Let's get to matches. Yep. That will be my assistant manager. That's why I'm not doing friendlies just yet. Anyway, then we've got media. Oh no, I'm not doing all this. We'll have our director of football can deal with the new signings. I'll do the league. We ain't got any cups. We don't really need to worry about that just yet. We're not in the Continental. The broadcast ones can go to Mr. Okazaki as well, seeing he's one of our coaches going to be on the bench with me. I think we've got all that sorted out really, and we've done the tactical direction. We've got a search going on for our assistant manager. I'm now going to get to know the club a bit better myself, get ready for the first 2 matches of the season, well, not of the season, but of our time here. If we have a look at the schedule, by the way, I think this is something like 15 games with only 1 win. And look at the amount of times we haven't scored. None. I think it's 9 out of them 15 times we've not scored a goal. So that's why we're going for a bit of an attacking formation. We need to get goals. In terms of who we're playing, who's coming up, in tomorrow's episode will be a home game for our first game at the club with Sapporo, and then we play Fukushima, who are top of the league, away from home. So they will both be in tomorrow's episode, and then on Friday we'll probably come back for something like Niigata, who are 7th, Yokohama FM, who are 16th. Is there any other team? I mean, we've got a nearest and dearest there, but yeah, probably come back from Niigata and Yokohama for Friday's episode, and then on Monday we'll do the last 2, and we've got a bit of a tough run in there, 8th and 4th, Kashira who are 14th, Kobe who are 3rd. Yeah, it's not going to be straightforward. We could end up struggling to stay in this league, but when we look at it, we only have 5 points to gain with 14 games to go. So I'm going to back us. I'm going to say we're going to do it. Let me know in the comments whether you think I've made the right decision coming to FC Tokyo. And yeah, let's hope for the best. I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode for the first 2 games of FC Tokyo. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.